Hello everyone. I have recently been reading The Way of Mastery, and I haven't been doing the course necessarily. My mum had some of the books and I just took one off her shelf and I've just been opening it periodically as part of like my morning routine. And I guess I feel like these kind of reading things like The Way of Mastery, or maybe a couple of pages from Rupert Spire's book or A Course in Miracles or something like that as part of your morning routine, I think is really lovely because it's very grounding. And when you read something that you just know comes from that center of I am and truth, I find that I feel so uplifted and it's just a really great reminder of the truth of who you are, and it helps pull you out of perhaps some ego patterns of behavior. I mean, obviously, I'm a big advocate here that when bad things happen, bad things happen, or difficult circumstances arise, that they are just so instrumental to your growth and to your happiness, and to letting go of needing this world to prove anything to you. Because when you lose things, or when things don't work out the way that you want them to work out, it's showing you that you've placed your compass or your sense of worthiness in the world. And as we all know, that's not the truth. The truth is that the I am presence within all of us is our compass and is our worthiness, and that's all we ever need. And so sometimes it takes having difficult situations to sort of shake you, or to help you snap out of the belief system that you've created that the world is of any importance to you in terms of your happiness and your stability, security, all those kind of things. And there's this really great little bit in The Way of Mastery, which I thought I would just read to everybody today. And I just think it sums it up. And for those people who don't know The Way of Mastery, it's another sort of work very similar to A Course in Miracles. And he talks about A Course in Miracles in here a lot. And it's just basically another form of teaching. And with A Course in Miracles, you do a lesson a day for 365 days. But with A Way of Mastery, you do a lesson a month. You just read it every day. And then he asks some questions, he poses questions in there for you to consider. And you do that for 3 years. So it's just having those consistent reminders of truth is just invaluable. But he says this: the Holy Spirit always knows the shortest route to God, or the universe. It will, when presented to you, bring up for you your deepest fears, since it is fear that obstructs the light of truth. How then do you dissolve the power of fear? By recognizing it, by feeling it, and by owning the simple fact that fear is not your master, and continuing to walk on. The ring of fear, of which I speak quite deeply in A Course in Miracles, is simply that. The ring of fear is something constructed from the inside out. In reality, all power under heaven and earth is given unto the Holy Son of God. And when you are presented with an opportunity, you are not presented something in which you are asked to walk alone. And if you accept the Holy Spirit's function as your own, every obstacle is removed before you reach it. And another bit he says is, I cannot begin to tell you how many times I've conspired to create opportunities for many, many beings to step into the fullness of their Christed consciousness with full power and glory in the shortest possible time, only to have them say, no, I can't do that. That's just not who I am. I have to go do something else. And it's really true. When I had my big dark night of the soul, and it was triggered by a certain event, and I was quite fortunate now in hindsight. I had nowhere to go when it happened. Like, there was there was nothing I could go out and do. There was nobody I could go see. I was very much like on my own. And that event meant that it forced me to really sit with it. So I couldn't just go, no, I can't go. I couldn't just say, no, I can't do that. That's just not who I am. I have to go do something else, because there was nothing else to do. And it was sort of like one of those moments where it's like, oh, my teaching has come to this, because the pain and the emotional pain and grief and just like the wound that was opened up in me was just so immense. That yeah, just having to like really sit with it and remind myself of the truth. And I can see now that that has just been the greatest blessing of my life, and it's allowed me to just release so many unconscious limiting beliefs from my energy, and it's just given me this greater foundation and faith and peace in what is, and in God and the universe, and in knowing that I really just don't need anything anymore to be happy. I have everything that I want now, and that I'm totally blessed, and that's freedom. That's freedom. And I really just, again, want to say that this suffering it's the fastest route for you. Like, the universe is giving it to you. Somebody very close to me is going through something very difficult at the moment, and they said to me, what have I done to deserve this? And I said, what needs to be said here is a reframe. It's not what have you done to deserve this, but how lucky are you to be given this liberation, this opportunity for growth and freedom, and shedding all these limiting beliefs. Like, you've done nothing to deserve this, because ultimately nothing has happened. Instead, this is the best thing that could have happened. I really love Ram Dass, and I posted on my Instagram that little reel of his song with John Hopkins. And in it, he says, let the judgments and opinions of the mind be the judgments and opinions of the mind. When you view a situation, you can view it in any way you want. And if you're judging it and there's opinions about it, those aren't truth. They're just coming and going. And so when you say something about an event like, what have I done to deserve this? This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Those are just judgments and opinions, and they're not the truth. And you can just as easily say, wow, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me. How can I use this to grow and expand and learn? And when you approach things from that point of view, that gives you a lot of, that's coming from love and joy and happiness. And when you do that, the universe is like a full-on yes, and it's supporting you massively. And you'll find that the growth and healing that seems so difficult to do will become effortless and will just flow.